They didn't invite me to a single reunion for 10 years, but today they stood at my gate, pretending they still had a place in my life. My own mother, who once told me I didn't belong in this family, was now staring at my mansion like she'd discovered gold. My brother, who used to laugh at my cheap clothes, whispered, Is this really her house? And the worst part? They acted like nothing ever happened. Before you go further, make sure to follow for more twisted family stories like this, because this one only gets darker. I was standing inside, watching them through the security cam, my heart pounding, not from fear, but from the shock of how fast tables can turn. 10 years ago, I was the girl they mocked at every gathering. The girl who sat alone at the kids' table while they toasted each other for success. The girl they told would never make it big. They didn't even hide it. My aunt once joked openly, Marilyn doesn't need a seat. She's barely part of the family anyway. But now, after 10 years of grinding in silence, building something none of them believed I could, they showed up at my front door acting like we were close. My mom started banging on the gate. Marilyn, open up. We need to talk. Need? The same people who didn't need me for a decade? My cousin shouted, Keen, come on, stop being dramatic. We're family. Family? The same family that uninvited me every single year and sent photos of everyone laughing at the dinner table, just to make sure I saw what I was missing. I walked slowly toward the door, each step shaking with a mix of anger and satisfaction. Inside, every memory from every reunion flashed, every insult, every whisper, every moment they made me feel invisible, and now they stood outside my mansion like I owed them something. My brother yelled, Pray, Marilyn, open the damn door. We came all this way. I finally reached the handle, looked straight at them through the glass. And what I did next made every single one of them freeze. I pressed a button, and the gate started closing in their faces. The gate didn't even finish closing before the yelling started. My mom rushed forward, grabbing the bars like she was holding on to the last piece of control she had left. Marilyn, why are you acting like this? Open the gate right now. Her voice cracked, but not from love, only from panic. Because for the first time in her life, I had the upper hand. My brother stepped closer, face red. What's wrong with you? We're family. You can't just shut us out. The same man who used to shove me out of group photos was now offended that a gate stood between us. The irony tasted sweet. I walked out onto the balcony, letting them see me clearly. And the moment they realized I wasn't the scared, quiet Marilyn anymore, their faces changed. My aunt whispered something like, She looks different, as if confidence was a sin. What do you want? I asked, my voice cold, not shaking, not soft, firm. Mom glanced around, taking in every expensive detail. Stone driveway, glass walls, the car parked behind me. Her jaw clenched when she saw the luxury she once said I'd never touch in my lifetime. We just came to talk, she said, putting on that fake sweetness she used whenever she wanted something. It's been a long time. Don't you miss us? Miss them. I miss the version of family I hoped they'd be, not the version they proved themselves to be. My brother cut in. Look, we know things got weird before, but Mom wants everyone together again. She's hosting a reunion and wants you there. A reunion? The same event they barred me from 10 straight years. Now suddenly they wanted me back? Why now? I asked. They all went silent. Then my cousin muttered, Just open the gate first. That told me everything. Mom stepped forward again. Marilyn, honey, please. Your sister's having a hard time. We thought maybe... There it was. Not an apology, not accountability, not, we're sorry we treated you like you didn't exist. They needed something. What happened to her? I asked flatly. Mom froze for a second. She might lose her house. Ah, so that was the real reason. They didn't come because they wanted me. They came because they needed the daughter they once threw away to fix the life of the daughter they worshipped. My chest tightened, not from pain, but from a cold realization. I had worked 10 years in silence, grinding while they mocked me. And the moment I built something real, they remembered I was part of the family. I'm not opening the gate, I said, turning back toward the door. Marilyn, Mom screamed, you can't walk away from your own family. I stopped, looked back over my shoulder, and let the truth cut clean. You walked away first. Their faces dropped, but they still didn't leave, which told me the worst twist wasn't over yet. My brother suddenly stepped closer to the gate, gripping it like he owned the right to step inside my life. Marilyn, stop acting dramatic. It's not that deep, he snapped, his old arrogance leaking through. You've always taken things too personally. That sentence alone sent a rush of memories through me. Birthdays where they forgot to invite me. Dinners where my chair was mysteriously missing. Family photos where they cropped me out like I never existed. And now I was the dramatic one. My mom tried again, her voice trembling but her pride fighting every word. We didn't come here to argue. We just need to talk. Your sister, she needs help right now. Real help. There it was again. Need. Not love. Not regret. Just a transaction waiting to happen. I walked down the stairs and approached the railing, close enough for them to see every ounce of disappointment on my face. Why would you come to me? I asked softly. You made it clear I'm not part of the family. My aunt avoided my eyes. My cousin looked down, but my brother, he laughed under his breath like the idea was ridiculous. Because you have money, Marilyn, that's why. The honesty hit harder than a lie. At least he finally said it. Mom nudged him sharply, but the damage was done. She stepped forward, lowering her voice like we were sharing a secret. We know you're doing well. We didn't realize how well until... She hesitated. Until what? I pressed. My brother's lips curled. Until your numbers came up on Google. Net worth estimates don't lie. I felt my stomach drop. So that's how they found out. I don't know who told you to search me, I said, but you weren't supposed to find anything. Oh, we found more than you think, he said, smirking. Your company, your properties, your car collection, didn't know the family reject would turn into a millionaire. The words should have hurt, but they didn't. They felt like confirmation. Proof that every silent night of work mattered. You didn't come to fix anything, I said. You came to take. Mom's face twisted with desperation now, her voice rising. Your sister could lose everything. Her kids could end up on the street. So now you care about kids losing their home? I asked coldly. Where was this concern when your own daughter was sleeping in a basement because you wouldn't let me come back after college? She flinched like I slapped her. My cousin stepped in, voice trembling. We shouldn't have done that to you, but please please help her. She's family. I tilted my head. And I wasn't? Silence. A silence so loud it made the air heavy. Then my brother mumbled, We didn't think you'd ever become someone. That sentence. That was the final crack. My hands tightened on the railing as anger and clarity burned through me. They weren't here for forgiveness. They weren't here to reconnect. They were here because their golden child fell. And I was the backup plan. I drew a slow breath, feeling years of humiliation rise inside me like fire. You all came here to use me, I said quietly. And I'm not done making you answer for it. Their faces stiffened, because the twist they feared the most was coming. And they had no idea how big it was. My mom suddenly switched tactics, her voice softening, her shoulders dropping, her eyes filling with those fake tears she used whenever she wanted full control of the room. Marilyn, sweetheart, we know mistakes were made, but we're still your family. You can't just erase us. I didn't erase you, I said. You erased me. 10 years straight. My brother scoffed, whispering loudly to my cousin, This is why we never included her. She's impossible. He didn't whisper quietly enough. My jaw tightened, but I didn't react. Not yet. Because letting them talk was giving me something more valuable than revenge. Confirmation. Proof. Their own words digging their own grave. Mom pushed a binder through the bars of the gate like she'd come prepared. Your sister's mortgage papers, she said. She's behind by 5 months. The bank is threatening foreclosure. If she loses it, those babies will have nowhere to go. I stared at the binder but didn't touch it. They weren't asking for a favor. They weren't seeking forgiveness. They were applying pressure, weaponizing guilt I didn't owe them. You know what I remember most? I asked suddenly. My brother frowned. Here we go. It was that day at Grandma's birthday, I continued, ignoring him, when I showed up with a cake I bought with my first paycheck. And you told me, this table is for family only. And you made me sit in the kitchen. My aunt's face turned pale. My cousin looked away like she was remembering it too clearly. Mom swallowed hard. We didn't mean... Yes, you did. I stepped closer to the gate, my voice steady but low enough to scare them. For years you made sure I understood my place. Outside, unwanted, uninvited, and now you're standing outside my home, asking for the very thing you denied me my whole life." My brother's mask cracked. His voice dropped to something dark. "If you don't help and she loses the house, that's on you. You'll have to live with that." Ah, there it was. The threat covered in family concern? I gave a small, bitter smile. Is that supposed to scare me? Mom reached for my hand through the bars. "We're begging you. We came all this way. Doesn't that show you we care?" "No," I said. "It shows me you're desperate." Her face went rigid, caught. Before she could respond, my phone buzzed. A notification popped up with the security feed. A second car had pulled up behind them, sleek, black, familiar. My heart stopped. My lawyer stepped out. Why? Why was he here? My family turned, confused. "Who's that?" my cousin whispered. But I knew exactly why he came, and the truth he was about to reveal would destroy every excuse my family thought they had left. They came for money, but they were about to find out this wasn't about money anymore. It was about something much bigger, something they never expected. My lawyer, Ethan Graves, walked toward the gate with a calmness that made my entire family tense up. He wasn't smiling. He wasn't greeting anyone. He looked like a man arriving to deliver a verdict. My brother stepped forward. Who is this?" Ethan didn't even look at him. He looked directly at me. "Marilyn, I came because I got the email, the one they sent." My blood ran cold. My mother instantly shook her head. "Email? What email? We didn't send anything." Ethan lifted a printed copy from his folder. "You did," he said. "You emailed my office this morning asking for an urgent appointment for financial access to Marilyn's accounts. You claimed she was mentally unstable and should not have control over her own assets." Every single one of them froze. My mother's lips trembled. "We never said that." "Yes, you did," Ethan replied, flipping the page toward them. "Your names, your signatures, recorded call logs. You tried to trigger a competency review to seize her estate." My brother lunged forward. "Well, we didn't mean it like that." "Yes," I cut in quietly. "You did." Their faces shattered. I felt the last 10 years lift off my shoulders. Every exclusion, every reunion I wasn't invited to, every time they laughed behind my back. Ethan stepped closer to the gate. "Marilyn, as your legal counsel, I recommend no contact. Their attempt to claim you unfit puts them in immediate violation of fraud statutes." My aunt panicked. "Fraud? We're her family." "And that," Ethan said, "doesn't exempt you from the law." My mom grabbed the gate, eyes wild. "Marilyn, please. Your sister, her kids, your family?" I looked her straight in the eyes. "For a decade, you made sure I never felt like family. Now you need me, and suddenly blood matters?" She opened her mouth, but I didn't let her speak. "You didn't come here because you love me. You came because you needed what I built. Alone." My brother's voice cracked with anger. "So that's it? You're shutting the door on us for good?" I breathed in slowly and nodded. That door closed 10 years ago. I just never realized it. I pressed the button on the gate's keypad. The lock clicked. My mother's face broke. "Marilyn, don't do the..." The gate slid shut, cutting off her voice mid-plea. For the first time in my life, I wasn't the one outside. They stood there, small, powerless, exposed, exactly where they had kept me for 10 years. Ethan turned to me gently. "You sure you're okay?" I smiled, not with bitterness, but peace. "I'm finally home." And as the gate sealed, I realized something I should have known long ago. Sometimes the family you lose is the freedom you gain.